Welcome to my channel of Gill Master Stories. Don't forget to subscribe button and press on the bell icon for more inspiration and mind-blowing stories. The biting December wind tore through the streets of San Francisco. It's icy fingers cutting through Tom Wilson's threadbare jacket as if it didn't exist. At 73, Tom had grown used to such nights. He had been living on the streets for the past 5 years, ever since the mounting medical bills from his wife Martha's cancer treatment had drained their savings and taken their home. The sidewalks had become his world. Tom sat huddled in his usual spot near the towering Tesla headquarters, his weather hands clutching a battered cardboard sign that read *veteran any help appreciated *. Most mornings tech workers in sharp suits and expensive shoes hurried past him, their eyes glued to their phones. Tom didn't hold it against them. He'd learned long ago that invisibility was just part of being homeless. That morning began like any other. He'd finished organizing the meager possessions in his cart: a few blankets, a coffee tin for spare change, and a handful of sentimental keepsakes, when a sudden commotion nearby caught his attention. A sleek black car had broken down at the curb, smoke curling ominously from under its hood. The driver, a man with tousled hair and a look of frustration, stepped out. Even from a distance, Tom recognized him instantly. It was Elon Musk, the man whose face was plastered on news channels and billboards across the globe. Tom watched his Elon paced in agitation, his phone in hand. No signal today of all days, Elon muttered under his breath, running his fingers through his hair. Despite his own troubles, Tom felt a pang of sympathy for the man. After all, frustration over a broken-down car was universal, billionaire or not. With a creak of stiff joints, Tom pushed himself to his feet and shuffled over. "Excuse me, sir," he said, his voice soft and unassuming. "I couldn't help but notice you're having car trouble. I used to be a mechanic in the army. Maybe I could take a look." Elon turned, his expression momentarily guarded, the way people often were when approached by someone who looked like Tom, but something about the old man's gentle demeanor seemed to put him at ease. "That would be helpful," Elon said after a pause. "I've got an important meeting and my phone isn't working out here." Tom carefully parked his cart nearby and leaned under the hood. The smell of oil and metal brought a wave of nostalgia, taking him back to his younger days in Vietnam when fixing vehicles was second nature. His hands, though gnarled with arthritis, still knew their way around an engine. "Your cooling system's got a leak," Tom said, pointing to the issue. "I can rig up a temporary fix to get you where you need to go. It won't last long, but it'll hold for now." Using supplies from his cart, a bottle of drinking water and a scrap of rubber heat saved, Tom worked methodically, his hands trembling slightly but steady in purpose. For 20 minutes he toiled, carefully patching the issue as best he could. Finally he stepped back and called out, "Try it now." The engine roared to life smoothly, its purr a testament to Tom's skill. Ellen's eyebrows lifted in surprise. "That's impressive," he said, checking his watch. "You just saved me from missing a crucial meeting. How much do I owe you?" Tom shook his head, his voice steady but humble. "Nothing, sir, just happy to help. My daddy always said helping others is its own reward." Elon studied him for a long moment, taking in the worn clothes, the callous hands, and the cart filled with what little Tom had left in the world. "At least let me give you something for your trouble," he insisted, reaching for his wallet, but Tom waved him off, already shuffling back to his spot. "Really, it's fine. I'm just glad I could be useful again." "Wait," Elon called after him. "What's your name?" "Tom Wilson, sir." "Well, Tom Wilson, I don't believe in coincidences." Elon hesitated, then added, "Would you tell me your story?" Tom paused, then spoke quietly but without bitterness. He shared his tale, his service in Vietnam, his 3 decades as a mechanic, his love for his late wife Martha, and how the overwhelming medical bills had taken everything. He spoke without self-pity, just an honest recounting of the facts. "These things happen," he said with a small shrug. "Can't change the past for a moment." Elon said nothing, his gaze thoughtful. Then he pulled a business card from his pocket and handed it to Tom. "Tom, I've got to get to my meeting, but I want you to Go to this address tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Ask for Sarah in HR, will you? Do that for me. Tom took the card, carefully turning it over in his hands. I guess I can, he said, his voice tinged with curiosity. Good, Elon replied, his tone firm but kind. And Tom, thank you. I don't want charity, sir. It's not charity. Elon replied firmly, his voice kind yet resolute. It's an opportunity, one you've earned through your skills and character. Will you come? Tom hesitated, emotions swirling within him. Then, with a slow nod, he said, yes, sir, I will. That night sleep eluded Tom as he lay in his usual doorway. Every so often, he pulled the business card from his pocket, running his fingers over it to ensure it was real. Could this truly be happening? As the first light of dawn broke, Tom used the last of his saved quarters to clean up in a public bathroom. He scrubbed his face, straightened his thinning hair, and put on the least tattered clothes he owned. At exactly 9 a.m., Tom found himself standing at the reception desk of Tesla headquarters. The gleaming surfaces, the polished floors, and the well-dressed employees bustling about made him feel painfully out of place. Yet before he could second-guess himself, a receptionist greeted him warmly. Mr. Wilson, please come this way, she said, motioning him toward a hallway. To his surprise, he was led directly to a bright, welcoming office. A kind fop woman stood to greet him. Good morning, Mr. Wilson, she said with a smile. I'm Sarah. Mr. Elon Musk told me about you yesterday. We've been expecting you. Tom's nerves tightened, but Sarah's demeanor put him at ease. We have a proposition for you, she continued, sliding a folder across the desk. What followed was beyond anything Tom could have imagined. Tesla offered him a position as a senior maintenance advisor for their classic vehicle division. His decades of mechanical expertise were not only valued but crucial to their mission of making their electric vehicles more repair-friendly for everyday mechanics. We'll provide temporary housing to help you get back on your feet, Sarah explained, and your medical benefits will start immediately. Tom's hands trembled as he gripped the arms of the chair. Ma'am, I'm 73 years old. Most people think I'm too old to work. Sarah leaned forward, her smile warm and reassuring. Mr. Musk doesn't believe in expiration dates for wisdom and experience. He was impressed by your skills, yes, but even more so by your integrity. You helped him without expecting anything in return. That's exactly the kind of person we want on our team. Tom felt a lump rise in his throat, and his eyes welled with tears. My Martha always said everything happens for a reason, he said softly. I didn't believe her when I lost everything, but maybe she was right. Later that afternoon, Tom was shown to a small but immaculate studio apartment near Tesla's offices. As he set his battered shopping cart, the entirety of his worldly possessions, into a corner, he noticed an envelope waiting on the table. Inside was a handwritten note from Elon Musk. Asterisk, Tom, your kindness and skill saved me yesterday when you had every reason to turn your back on the world. Consider this a small repayment. Asterisk. Below the note was a check. Tom's hands shook as he read the amount. It was enough to cover every penny of Martha's outstanding medical bills. Overwhelmed, Tom sank to his knees in the middle of the apartment. For the first time in 5 long years, he allowed himself to cry, not from sadness, but from gratitude and hope. The next morning, Tom Wilson walked into Tesla headquarters wearing a crisp new uniform and carrying the confidence of a man who had been given a second chance. He was ready to begin his first day of work. As he passed the familiar spot on the street where he had spent so many cold nights, Tom paused for a moment. The wind still carried the same biting chill, and the hustle of the city was unchanged. Yet for Tom, everything was different. What once felt like the end of his story now felt like the beginning of something new, something brighter. With a quiet smile, he whispered, thank you, Martha, you were right all along. Then, straightening his shoulders, he stepped into his new life in the same spot where he used to sit with his cardboard sign. Tom paused, the early morning light casting a soft glow over the streets. He closed his eyes and whispered a quiet thank you to Martha. She had always told him that kindness would find its way back to you. Even in the darkest of times, now as Tom Wilson stood tall once home, but always dignified and compassionate, he was proof that life could offer second chances to those who kept their hearts open to helping others. Weeks turned into months, and Tom's impact at Tesla was undeniable. His decades of hands-on experience proved invaluable as he helped the company design vehicles that were more accessible to traditional mechanics, bridging the gap between old-school automotive expertise and cutting-edge electric technology. Tom's humble demeanor and eagerness to share his knowledge made him a beloved figure among engineers and maintenance staff alike. But it wasn't just his technical skills that left an impression. Every morning, Tom walked to work with granola bars tucked into his pockets. Whenever he passed someone who was homeless, he would stop, offer them a snack, and say, "Everyone deserves a little kindness sometimes. That's all it takes to change a life." I should know his gentle smile and heartfelt words carried a wisdom born from his own struggles, inspiring everyone around him. Word of Tom's story spread quickly throughout Tesla. Employees were moved by the transformation of a man who had gone from living on the streets to playing a crucial role in the company's success. Inspired by Tom's example, teams began organizing volunteer efforts at local homeless shelters, and Tesla itself launched a program to train and hire veterans and elderly workers who had fallen on hard times. Tom's story became a rallying cry for compassion and opportunity, showing how even small acts of kindness could ripple outward to create meaningful change. When asked about his remarkable journey, Tom would simply smile and shake his head modestly. The real blessing wasn't the job or the money, he'd say. It was being reminded that I still had something to offer the world. Sometimes all it takes is for someone to believe in you, just for a moment, to help you believe in yourself again. Every year on the anniversary of the morning that changed his life, Tom returned to his old spot near Tesla headquarters. This time, however, he wasn't there to ask for help. Instead, he spent the day offering it to others, passing out food, blankets, and warm words to those in need. The cycle of kindness, he believed, never truly ended. It just evolved into new forms, spreading in ways we might never expect. Tom's story became more than just a tale of redemption. It was estimate to the power of compassion, the value of experience, and the unyielding truth that it's never too late for life to surprise us with its capacity for change. The man who once sat on a cold sidewalk clutching a cardboard sign had become a beacon of hope and humanity. Tom Wilson, the homeless veteran who helped without hesitation, reminded the world that the greatest acts of kindness often come from those with the least to give, but the biggest hearts to share. Thank you for taking the time to hear Tom Wilson's story, a story of resilience, kindness, and the power of second chances. Stories like these remind us that no act of compassion is ever too small, and that even in the darkest moments, hope has a way of finding its way back to us as you go about your day. I encourage you to take this story as a call to action. Look around you. Someone near you might be in need of encouragement, a helping hand, or simply a kind word. Whether it's volunteering, offering support to a struggling neighbor, or just choosing kindness in your daily interactions, your actions have the potential to create ripples that can change lives. Let's all strive to be like Tom, who even in his hardest times chose to help others, because when we uplift each other, we create a world where hope, love, and compassion can thrive. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who might need a reminder of humanity's capacity for goodness. And remember, the smallest gestures can lead to the biggest changes. Together, let's keep the cycle of kindness alive. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. For more content, please leave your comments and share your experiences. Thank you for being part of Gill Master Stories community. See you soon.